Hey guys, what's up? This is the watch list video for Thursday already, Thursday, June 2nd. Today, pretty dead day. I predicted that in the pre-market. I told everybody, trade light. You got to get used to doing nothing. The market, we've entered, what I call low volume summer trading. And this is the 4-day week attached to a holiday weekend too. So, it's especially dead out there. This is the daily chart of the SPY and kind of maybe starting to roll back over. We'll see, but really light volume. Here's the 5-minute candle. So really just straight down almost from the open. Then a little afternoon bounce and started to roll over again. I don't have much of an opinion on like where it's going or what I'm doing because I'm a day trader. So I'll look for things to trade on an intraday basis. I don't have any highlights from today because it was so dead. I took one or two small trades this morning. I had a green day, but nothing to brag about. And my expectations are fairly low in this environment. And that's one thing you got to learn as a trader. It's not always fast paced, and there's not always something to trade. The lesson there is to learn to do nothing when there's nothing to do, and that's I think one of the hardest things for most newer traders. I'm actually really good at it now. I never log in saying, "Oh man, I got to get a trade." Right? If they come to me, I'll take it. And when you get to that place, it's kind of nice because then you basically, your brain will tell you, okay, this is one that actually you need to trade. Right? If you have the mindset that I'm not going to trade today unless something actually, it triggers all my buttons, right, or pushes all my buttons. Then when that happens, you won't even be able to stop yourself from taking the trade because it's one of those that everything lines up. Having said that, those are few and far between right now, so keep that in mind. All right. View, I want to keep this on watch. Had a nice volume day, closing well off its highs, but it's kind of interesting. Topped out right around $2. And if you look at it on a 5-minute basis, Wayne had this on his morning gap playlist. I saw it on his list, but I didn't add it to mine. I'd love to give you a good reason, but I didn't really have one. But look what it did. It opened at $1.50, sold off. So you got a half number inflection point right at the red to green. So I'm sure some people in chat got that red to green through the half number. And then you had a decent little trade. I never even saw it because I didn't add it to my list. But to me, that means it's possibly kind of a clean trader and had really big volume today. So it lands on the watch list for tomorrow. Remember, I make my money between the bells. I'm in cash every night. So hopefully some of these will give me an A+ setup tomorrow. NUTX doesn't look like much, but had this big pop back here. Then you kind of have this cup and handle thing going. And then today tried to break above that 10 level. Doesn't look like much, but when you look at it on a 5-minute basis, you can see the really nice afternoon push, right? So that kind of makes it more interesting to me. And I'm going to keep my eyes on it tomorrow. ATNF, kind of a nice breakout today. We'll see if it gives any kind of follow-through setup tomorrow. BKSY has been really strong, but gap down today. And sold off, but a much more narrow range to the downside than it had to the upside yesterday. So I'm looking at this as, okay, it's still a recent high flyer. If I get an A+ long setup, I'll take it. Having said that, I would like to see it come back down to the moving averages. Then I would like it even more. But I am going to put it on a chart. AMC, after the Top Gun weekend, we've got 2 red days in a row, right back down to the 8-day, putting it right back on bounce watch. BGXX, an extremely ugly chart, but I've been talking about this for several days, had this massive turnaround. The range on the day I'm hovering over here was a low of 560 and a high of 1425. That tells me this thing can really rip, right? And then it's been bleeding lower ever since, hitting new all-time lows today. But I still like it as a potential bounce play, right? So I'm going to keep that on watch. Redbox, RDBX, just goes back on bounce watch. Finally made its way back to the 20-day. It's been a good trader recently, so I'm putting it on a chart. SIGA, SIGA, turning right back up, showing some strength. That is a monkeypox play. I'm going to keep that on watch. SWTX, normally these 3 days would be extremely bullish when you have a pop and then a lower high and a lower high, but higher lows too, and you're getting that kind of ascending triangle look. But it makes it a little less bullish when the daily chart's so ugly, right? These 3 days occur kind of in a vacuum down here, but you do have a gap to fill. And I definitely think this is worth watching. I'm going to kind of zoom in using 15-minute candles now. So on the gap down day, it topped out at 2034. Then yesterday, topped out at 1998. You could probably round that up to 20. So you go 2034, 20, and then today's high, let me just go back to the daily. Today's high 1980. So it is coiled, maybe a rip through 20, and I'll give it a shot. We'll see if it looks good on the tape, if that even happens, right? GOVX seems to have held the 8-day. And the interesting thing about this is 213 high today, 213 high yesterday. So possible break of that 2-day high tomorrow. We'll keep our eyes on that one. And it's kind of in the same space as that SIGA. And then lastly, Chewy, which I'll tell you what, everyone I know with pets uses Chewy. So I'm surprised it's down this low. But anyway, they reported after hours, and it went out in after hours at 27.90. So potential gapper tomorrow. All right, that's it for me. I'm going to quit babbling, and I'll see everybody in the chat room in the morning.